The Minister of Science, Technology and Innovation, Dr. Ogbonnaya Onu, has underscored the developments of the National Space Research and Development Agency services to reduce risk and mitigate flooding in the country. The minister gave the endorsements at the presentation of a 3-year multi-scale flooding monitoring and assessment services for West Africa, organized by the National Space Research and Development Agency. Onu, represented by Dr. Peter Ikwozo, Director of Environmental Sciences and Technology, said that the services were good initiatives that should be domesticated for sustainability. He noted that the initiative, which was achieved using EO data and satellite technology, showed the need to deploy space technology to attain SDGs. Some of the services included updatable regional flood event database, flood reporter, flood geospatial database, flood forecast geoportal, flood damage assessment, and capacity building programs.
The presentation of these products and services is fulfilling a critical gap in flood disaster mitigation, risk reduction, and management. Over the years, there has been a gap between the need to adequately prevent, manage, and mitigate flood disasters to save lives and property. But today, this project presents the science, technology, and innovation solutions as critical tools to bridge these gaps. Satellites play a very key and important role in our daily lives and national development. In recognition of this role, the federal government of Nigeria has committed huge resources in human capital development in NASRDA to develop and launch satellites for acquiring data required to provide solutions to various needs of Nigerians and also offer solutions to national challenges.
Director General of the Development Agency encouraged stakeholders and relevant agencies to deploy the services to save lives and properties.
We encourage stakeholders and relevant institutions to key into these efforts in order to save lives and properties. Sustainable development can only be achieved if lives and properties are safe.
Chairman, Senate Committee on Special Duties, represented by the committee's vice chairman, said there was a wide gap between research institutions and the people.
As much as possible, our research findings, should be disseminated, and transferred to the people that are concerned. There is need for us to revive the local government system. Because if this information is passed on to the villagers, the rural dwellers, they will not be able to generate the needed resources to organize themselves, sit down, and then listen to your information and digest them and apply them to enable them manage, risk involved in disasters or reduction in risk on account of disasters.
Dr. Ganiyu Abaje, Director of CSSTE, said some of the services were developed to serve people in local areas like the farmers. Some of the flooding risk reduction services were officially handed over to NIMET, National Emergency Management Agency, Nigeria Hydrological Services Agency, and other data-generating agencies to prevent future occurrences.
The flood reporter usage is in levels. The flood reporter is a tablet. It will be handed out to some of the stakeholders. We've already programmed it, we've written the right codes. Once you get to hold it, you snap any flood event. Maybe it's happening somewhere, because that is what is meant to help us with what we call nowcast. It's different from forecast. Nowcast is supposed to be reporting it immediately. If you say we have weather gauges around the area, it will be giving us kind of information of what is happening also. The level of the water, the depth, the discharge. Then we'll be able to incorporate that into our model, which we've developed. But most of these things are not happening. But the flood reporter, for example, you take it, it will immediately send a message to your office, the server. If it is correct, because we will have been already accredited to use it, then it will go into the flood event database, which will help with forecasting. That is one. Another level is using SMS. The SMS is meant for the district heads. We have the architecture. We've found out that if we do the forecasting, and we felt we need to inform the district heads, the locals, if the district heads have an essay or that can read, they will get the information. They have the SMS. We are coding in such a day. So 1, 2, 3. 1 is don't go. 2, maybe 3. Or you color code it if you have a SMS phone with a media, what do you call it? Very better phone that can give color. We are now, hopefully, in the second phase, going to even the locals, helping us to use the phone to gather data. If they help us to use the phone to gather data, then we have more data, more information, and it will refine our prediction.